Would the meeting please come to order? This is the special City Council meeting of March 10th, 2026. The time is 4:10 p.m. And at this time, I would like the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilmember Carroll.
Yes.
Councilmember Go.
Here.
Councilmember Liu.
Here.
Councilmember Martinez-Franco.
Here.
Councilmember Treseder.
Here.
Vice Mayor Mai.
Here.
And Mayor Agron.
Here. All right. At this time, Mr. Peterson, would you advise those here and certainly those who might be participating remotely precisely how they can participate in this council meeting?
Thank you, Mayor. Members of our audience who wish to speak may submit their name into one of the speaker kiosks next to the city clerk or in the main lobby. We also offer the ability to provide live comments via Zoom and submit written comments through our e-comment system. For those who wish to participate virtually, visit zoom.us using any web browser or the Zoom app on smartphones or tablets and enter meeting ID 1600434844. The passcode is 272906. You may also dial in by calling 669-254-5252 or 669-216-1590 and entering the same meeting ID and passcode. Those who wish to provide comments via Zoom are asked to enter the speaker queue by raising their hand electronically. The city clerk will call your name and allow you to unmute your microphone at the appropriate time. Those dialing in by telephone will be identified by the last 3 digits of their telephone number. We ask that you please state your name for the record. The time limits per speaker are noted in the posted agenda and are established based on the number of requests submitted. All requests submitted after the first speaker is called shall receive 90 seconds. Those who wish to provide written comments may do so by clicking e-comment on the City Council meeting agenda webpage at cityofirvine.org/ICTV. All comments will be provided to the City Council as part of the meeting record and will be uploaded to the city's website. For technical assistance with Zoom before or during the meeting, please call 949-724-6078. For any other questions or assistance, please contact the City Clerk's office at 949-724-6205 or via email at clerk@cityofirvine.org. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. We're going to see if we can move through this agenda quickly. We do have a reception at 5 o'clock. I think we should manage to do that if everyone cooperates. So let me at this time turn to the public comments section of our agenda. This is the opportunity for those who are here and those participating remotely to publicly comment on non-agendized items. Those are items that are not on the published agenda, but are matters that are at least generally within our subject matter jurisdiction. Mr. Peterson, do we have any requests?
We do, Mayor. We have 7 requests to speak.
How many?
7.
7. All right. If you would, let's call on, let's keep the queue open and ask our speakers to please confine their remarks to about 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. If I could call forward Alan Meyerson, Jessica Becerra, Doug Elliott, Jason Garshfield, Kim Chips, Joanne Slobodian, and John L. Britton. And we'll start with Mr. Meyerson.
Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, council members. Alan Meyerson. I just wanted to make some observations this afternoon regarding some of the Great Park meetings and these meetings. I wanted to make a comment to Councilmember Go. the last Great Park meeting, you said some things that I found to be offensive and racist. Maybe I took it the wrong way, I'm not sure. Maybe it just came out of you in the wrong way. But I have noticed this, that you have mentioned the taxes that Great Park residents have to pay multiple times during different meetings. It seems that I sense a resentment from you that the Great Park residents have to pay these taxes. I will just say that there was full disclosure when people buy homes in the Great Park. They knew these taxes had to be paid. So it's like moving into a place that has an airport nearby, and after moving in, you complain about the noise. I'm 75. I've been paying taxes since my whole life, almost my whole life. I pay school taxes my whole life. I've never had any kids, but I've never once complained about having to pay school taxes because it's for the benefit of everybody, the country, all the people that live here, everybody, society. So I really wish you would refrain from complaining about the Great Park residents having to pay taxes. That park belongs to everybody, and their taxes, a lot of their taxes go to the Great Park, but they knew that up front. So there shouldn't be any whining and complaining about having to pay those taxes. I don't understand it. I don't understand the resentment that you have about that.
Thank you. Your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jessica Becerra.
Welcome.
Honorable Mayor, esteemed council members, and cherished community partners. My name is Jessica Becerra. I am the founder and president of Tree of New America, a registered 501c3 nonprofit, a 15-year resident of Irvine, a Latina businesswoman, owner, and the daughter of a Vietnam veteran. And I stand here today with deep gratitude. First, I would like to thank Councilwoman Betty Martinez Franco. Your dedication to District 5 reflects compassion in action. You have chosen to see the people who are often unseen and listen to those who may not always have a voice. That kind of leadership strengthens a community. Those values resonate deeply with us at Tree of New America. On March 23rd, from 4 to 7 p.m. at Mike Ward Park, our coalition, Tree of New America, Mary's Kitchen Pantry, and Seeking Him Outreach will come together to launch our pilot initiative, where we are preparing to serve 200 individuals and families in our community who may be experiencing hardship. Even in strong and vibrant cities like Irvine, there are neighbors who may be struggling with access to proper nutrition and the mental health challenges that often accompany those in need. At Tree of New America, our mission is simple but powerful: to support community well-being by addressing mental health through nutrition, compassion, and connection. Our coalition is organized, committed, and ready to serve. And with the support of community leaders like Councilwoman Betty Franco Martinez, along with partners and organizations, working together, we can continue bridging gaps, reaching those who need our support, and building an even stronger Irvine.
Thank you. Your time is up.
Thank you for allowing us to be part of this work.
Thank you for your comments.
Doug Elliott.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon. I'm Doug Elliott, a City Commissioner speaking only for myself. I want to express a few words of appreciation for another commissioner, Yusuf Kadesh, who has served with distinction on the Transportation Commission for the past 3 years, including a term as chair. Before he was commissioner, I knew Yusuf slightly as a college kid who was interested in city politics. He was studying urban planning and riding his bike around town. Councilmember Treseder recognized that these were excellent qualifications to be a transportation commissioner, and boy, was she right. Yusuf has been more than a commissioner. He's been a tireless advocate for needed transportation improvements, from iConnect to safe bike paths and pedestrian safety, driving force behind Cyclo Irvine, which has become an annual tradition, and I'm sure you all know personally his tireless advocacy on behalf of the transportation needs of the city. Last spring, Yusuf graduated from UCI, got himself a dream job for him as a planner for a transportation agency, but unfortunately, it's located in the Inland Empire. So Yusuf is not the kind of guy to commute on the freeways for a couple hours a day, so he decided regretfully that he had to find himself a place closer to work, and so he's had to step down from the commission. But I just wanted to pay tribute to him as not only an outstanding public servant, but as proof that one person can make a difference, and we all should try. So thank you, Yusuf.
Thank you, Mr. Elliott. And yes, thank you, Yusuf.
Jason?
Welcome.
Thank you. In 1984, George Orwell famously wrote that freedom is the freedom to say 2 + 2 make 4. If that is granted, all else follows. Today in America, our own government has inflicted on us a delusion as deep in its own right as the claim that 2 and 2 make 5. It is the delusion that 8 a.m. can by government fiat, be turned into 9 a.m. The outrage known as daylight savings time, a policy even stupider than Eric Nishanian, must be ended today and replaced with year-long standard time, which is much more in line with natural solar time and with the rhythms of our bodies. For 8 months of the year, for the better part of a century, Americans have been subject to this false reality, which was instituted to appease the all-powerful Gulf lobby. Like the pharaoh Akhenaten, who replaced the many-gods of Egypt with the singular solar deity, the DST maniacs have eschewed all other priorities in monomaniacal pursuit of evening sunlight. This council must adopt a resolution firmly rebuking DST and perhaps implementing a citywide Irvine time in line with solar truth. In other news, it is worth mentioning that our thankfully former mayor, Farrakhan, has taken to social media to post quotes by communist mass murderer Che Guevara, as well as to call Israelis, quote, sick pedophiles and cannibals. Think about what that means. She actually believes that Israelis eat human flesh. While this may no longer be directly relevant, as Khan is no longer mayor and will, God willing, stay that way, it should be sobering to all of us that a woman of this nature could rise to the top elected office of the 13th largest city in California and should be a call to every one of us to think carefully before we vote. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Kim Chips?
Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, staff. My name is Kim Chips, and I am a proud resident of this fine city of Irvine. I am here tonight as a board member of the Orange County United Way, and I would like to share a few words about the impact United Way is having right here in our city and across the county. The mission of Orange County United Way is to improve lives and strengthen our community by focusing on education, financial stability, health, and housing, the building blocks of a good quality of life. 2110C, operated by Orange County United Way, is our county's 24/7 resource and referral line, serving as the front door for community support across the county. Last year, 7,455 Irvine residents reached out to 211 seeking help with essentials like housing, food assistance, and family support. According to United Way's real cost measure, 30% of households in Irvine and Tustin, that's more than 35,000 families, are struggling to make ends meet. Through programs like United to End Homelessness, we're working to change that reality. Since 2019, this initiative has helped more than 1,200 individuals move into stable housing. Another critical United Way program addressing financial stability is OC Free Tax Prep. This initiative provides free IRS-certified tax preparation services for thousands of hardworking Orange County residents each year, ensuring they maximize their refunds and access valuable tax credits. By putting more money back into the hands of families, this program strengthens financial stability and fuels economic growth in our local communities. Here in Irvine alone, 1,092 households received free tax preparation just last year, resulting in more than $2.3 million in total refunds, credits, and savings, money that helps pay for rent, groceries, and childcare. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you for your comments.
Joanne Slobodian.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Have you guys ever read this Dr. Seuss book, The Lorax? It's about one small character who keeps showing up, warning people that if no one speaks up, the trees will disappear. Sometimes I kind of feel like that little orange guy. I'm not so little, though, because I keep coming to City Hall again and again, asking you to protect our open space before it's gone, before it becomes pavement or 3,100 homes. Oak Creek was supposed to be protected under Resolution 88-1. So I'm asking a simple question. Why haven't you accepted the easement? Accept the easement, fix the clerical error, protect the land that belongs to the people of Irvine. Now, the next step is the Planning Commission. The Irvine Company is coming to ask for a rezoning of Oak Creek, calling it a 50-acre nature park, but residents know that that can lead to a village of 3,100 homes. So tonight, I want to know is something very clearly. How are you telling your planning commissioners to vote? Are you telling them to vote no on development on protected open space? I certainly hope so. Please tell the public, message me and let residents know how you are directing them to vote. And for those who think this is only about District 4 and 5, it's not. If open space can be taken here, it can be taken in any district. Join us, sign the petition, carry a sign, wear green. I am the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. Perhaps this is why Mr. Agron is adding trees to our city to make us ignore all those he is tearing down. Accept the easement, protect Oak Creek, protect Irvine's open space. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comments.
John Albritton.
Mayor, City Council, I'm very disappointed and frankly disgusted that I have to keep coming here, and I've been doing this for almost, 2 years now? Mayor, in your own words that you wrote in 1999, and have written repeatedly in other articles and have spoken out loud to everybody, in Irvine's 48 years as a planned city, some use decisions and projects have been so profoundly beneficial that they've earned the title legacy projects. As a former mayor and council member, I've been fortunate to play in advancing 3 of these citizen-driven projects. Legacy project number 1, open space. In the 1980s, facing rapid development of vanishing open space, Irvine citizens demanded that the city and the Irvine Company enter into an open space agreement. After years of negotiations, in 1988, Irvine voters ratified an historic open space preservation initiative that set aside more than 10,000 acres of natural open space in vast wilderness areas that will be forever protected, free of development. Now, you guys are trying to destroy that. I don't get it. I don't understand it. The Irvine Company is putting out this false narrative of 50 acres for a natural nature park. We're taking 235 acres and turning it into 50. That is 5 times less space than sits there right now in the center of the city. Your greatest legacy. 2024 in October, you had another article talking about the exact same, your greatest legacies. Where are you in defending this? Where are all of you in defending this? The Irvine city itself doesn't want low-income housing or low-density housing on that property. It's not about high-density properties. It's not about critical housing. If it was, you wouldn't be putting million-dollar homes there. And it's certainly not about low-income housing because million-dollar homes are not low-income. Please,
your time is up.
Please save the park. Save the open space.
Thank you for your comments.
Our next speaker is Eric Nishanian. Mr. Nishanian, you may unmute your mic. You have 90 seconds.
Thank you very much, council members, Mayor Agron. Parlaying up what Mr. Gershfield was talking about with regard to Mayor Khan, the only council member on the dais who took a donation from Mayor Khan leading up to their election as a council member is Betty Franco, who claims to be a representative of everybody in District 5. Mayor Khan has a history of being a sympathizer of genocide deniers here in the city and allowing some foreign agents to infiltrate city council on a mayor advisory board. Certainly, neither she reflects the valor and integrity of the city and all the good morals of the city. And I don't believe that Ms. Franco does either. She's broken down the ICE debate to being, them going after the brown ones or the Latinos, when in fact they're going after Iranians and Armenians and all types of groups. It's not just hers against them, and that we have to rally behind her. And that's what she makes it do. She actually divides people in the city by her own ignorance, claiming to be representing people while taking money from those that sympathize with genocide deniers. Thank you.
And that is all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. That concludes our public comments for non-agendized items, allowing us to march right down the agenda here to the city manager's report. Mr. Crumby, do we have a city manager's report at this time?
Thank you, Mayor. No report tonight.
Thank you. Announcements, committee reports, council reports. I turn to my colleagues for, please, very brief comments if they have announcements to make at this time. Councilmember Betty Martinez-Franco.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I have a few updates to share with you tonight from my office. Next slide. Thank you to everyone who registered for the upcoming Women's Conference. We are looking forward to an amazing day of education, empowerment, and connection. And I would like to thank our city staff for all their hard work they put together with this event. Next slide. My office will be partnering with Tree of New America to distribute free food to our community members on Monday, March 23rd. Join us from 4 to 7 at My Guard Community Park. Together, we are dedicated to delivering food assistance to those in need while promoting health and wellness in Irvine. If anyone needs a flyer, my staff is way on the top. The next slide. The Orange County Fire Authority Board of Directors met on February 26. In this meeting, the board unanimously appointed T.J. McGovern as the interim fire chief. OCFA Annual Open House will be taking place at their Irvine headquarters this Saturday, March 14th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this is a great opportunity to meet your local firefighters, learn fire safety, and even put out pretend fires. Next slide. The Southern California Association of Governments Community Economic and Human Development Committee met on March 5th, where we elected Rocky Roads, Simi Valley City Council member as the new chair, as well as Jeff Wood, Vice Mayor of Lakewood, as vice chair. In this meeting, we also discussed projections for Connect So-Called to 2050, SCAG's Regional Transportation Plan. This plan outlines a vision for a more resilient future with investment policies and strategies for achieving the region's shared goals through 2050. And the 2026 Student Showcase deadline is almost here. Final projects are due March 12 by 10 a.m. and scan the QR code to go to their website. Next slide. I would like to invite you to stay connected by following me on social media, where I'm sharing updates about what is going on District 5 and the city of Irvine. Next slide. You can also stay up to date by subscribing to our newsletter by scanning this new QR code. My office is always available for your questions and concerns, so please reach out anytime. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Martinez-Franco. Councilmember Liu.
Good evening. I'm going to briefly talk about what we've done and also look ahead. And can I have the next slide, please? Last week, alongside the District Attorney's Office and Irvine Police Department, my office hosted a senior fraud prevention town hall at the Irvine Meadows to a packed house. Next slide, please. To celebrate Read Across America Day, I joined a group of 5th and 6th graders at Culverdale Elementary School on March 2nd, where I read a book about the Lunar New Year and answered their questions about what's happening in our city. Next slide, please. Last week, we recognized Assistant Chief of Police Noelle Smiley at Assembly Member Kari Petrie-Norris's Women of the Year ceremony, where we celebrated her years of service and commitment to our city with the IPD. Next one, please. Last Saturday, I was proud to attend the grand reopening of the Katie Wheeler Library, now under the Irvine Public Library System. As the District 1 representative, I'm happy that our district now has an easily accessible library for all of our residents. And next one, please. On April 7th, our office will host the From Awareness to Action workshop with Advancing Justice and Radiant Futures at the Portola Springs Community Center. This workshop will emphasize how to identify the signs of and prevent domestic violence in our communities. For more information, check out our social media or visit our website. Next one, please. And thank you. And that, as always, please reach out to our office if you have any needs, and we're always open. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Liu. Anything further? There being no further announcements, we'll turn to City Manager and the City Attorney, if need be, for additions and deletions.
None tonight, Mayor.
All right, none tonight, allowing us to go on to the consent calendar. The consent calendar tonight consists of items 1.1 through 1.5. Consent calendar items, even though they may be of some real import, are generally considered non-controversial and unlikely to produce discussion. Therefore, with a single roll call vote, we're able to dispose of the entire consent calendar items. Is there a motion to adopt consent calendar items?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, 1.1 through 1.5. We do, of course, have to give the public an opportunity to be heard on any of these items if they wish. The motion is before us with Councilmember James Wine making the motion, Councilmember Liu the second, and now how many requests do we have to be heard? Mr. Peterson.
Mayor, there are no requests to speak.
Wow. All right, no requests. That being the case, would the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Carroll.
Yes.
Councilmember Go.
Yes.
Councilmember Liu.
Yes.
Councilmember Martinez-Franco.
Yes.
Councilmember Treceder.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mai.
Yes.
And Mayor Agron.
Yes.
Carry 7-0.
Since item 2.1 under council business was removed from the agenda, which was originally published on March 3rd, 2026, I think it's basically gone. It's invisible. Is that correct?
Correct, Mayor.
Correct. That being the case, we have no further business to conduct at this time. So what we're doing is we're going to recess to a 5 o'clock reception in advance of the State of the City remarks. We'll be reconvening to what is still an ongoing City Council meeting at 6 p.m. I believe at that time we will have Vice Mayor Mai calling that particular aspect of this meeting to order, and we'll have State of the City remarks for the balance of the agenda. With that, we're in recess.
The City Council is now reconvened. The time is 6:10 p.m. Thank you all for joining us on this very special evening where Mayor Larry Agron will be delivering his 2026 State of the City address. As your Vice Mayor, it is an honor to have the gavel passed down to me and a privilege to act as tonight's Master of Ceremonies. Before we get started, I would like to ask the audience members to be thoughtful and respectful during tonight's special meeting. We understand that certain parts of the world are experiencing tragic circumstances, and we certainly appreciate and respect the different points of views. However, tonight's ceremony is about celebrating our local community, the magnificent city of Irvine, where we live, work, and play. While we are very supportive of free speech and recognize the value of free speech, tonight's State of the City address is still part of City Council meetings, and any disruption tonight will be addressed exponentially and appropriately in ordinance of our rules of decorum. We sincerely appreciate everyone's cooperation. At this time, will the audience please rise, if you are able, for the Pledge of Allegiance to our nation's flag, and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. Chief Kent, will you please call forward the Irvine Police Color Guard to lead us on this Pledge of Allegiance?
Irvine Police Honor Guard, present colors. Honor, Alton, boom! Mary, colors. Right, face. Forward, one. Detail. Hold. Left. Face.
Please place your right hand over your heart.
Present.
Ready?
Arms.
Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Thank you, Chief Kent. City Council meetings generally include an invocation, which comes in many forms that are uplifting and inspirational in nature. Tonight's invocation comes to us in the form of a musical presentation. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce and call forward Kevin Corrigan, Supervising Principal Executive Assistant to Mayor Larry Agron. Kevin was invited to perform for us in this evening at Mayor Agron's request. Kevin is a young up-and-comer and graduate of the Voice and Opera program at UCLA Irv Albert School of Music, where he was a member of the UCLA Seraphic Fire Ensemble Artist Program, the UCLA Chamber Singers, and the Gluck Fellowship Program. He is an active soloist and ensemble artist, singing with the St. John Newman and St. Nicholas Parish choirs, and the Schola Cantorum of St. Paul the Apostle. Kevin is an alumnus and former part leader of the All-American Boys Chorus and has been recognized for his talents in various local and national competitions. Alongside his musical endeavors, Kevin is civically engaged and involved in local government in his capacity as a supervising principal council executive assistant. To accommodate his interdisciplinary interests, he has also created his own double major and earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in government operations, finance, and ethics. Tonight, Kevin will be performing our national anthem, followed by America the Beautiful. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us this evening.
Present. Arms.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars from the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, Kevin. Chief Kent, will you please retire the colors?
Irvine Police Honor Guard, dismissed.
Detail. Post. Colors. Ready. 2. Ready. Step. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Right. Peace. Forward. March. There. 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 Front. Left. 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 Front.
In 1893, during a visit to Pikes Peak, Colorado, Catherine Lee Bates was so inspired by the magnificent, far-reaching panorama of the surrounding countryside that she felt compelled to write the words to the next song, America the Beautiful. The fourth verse specifically evokes a sense of pride and hope for the nation, and by extension, its cities. Its words celebrate the beauty of America's ideals, dreams rooted in patriotism, and a vision that looks toward a brighter future. The mention of shining, magnificent cities symbolizes progress, prosperity, and the beauty of urban life, with her admiration for their achievements and aspirations being most fitting tonight. This is America the Beautiful. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fronted plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and
dream that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America, America, God shed His grace on thee.
Thank you so much for that performance, Kevin. One more hand of applause for him. All right. Tonight, we are honored to have some special guests joining us for Mayor Agrin's State of the City address. Yes, sir. Sure. Why not? Please have a seat. Then I'm going to call everyone up. That's why I'm the vice mayor. All right. We have some special guests in the house here today, and when I call your name, please rise. If I get your name wrong, there's a guy named Carl over there, the city clerk, who wrote this. He's the guy to talk to. We have a number of former mayors in attendance. They'll be formally recognized later on in the program as well. Tonight we have representatives from Congressman Dave Minn's office. If you could please rise. All right. Representatives from Senator Stephen Choi's office. Thank you, Justin. Representatives from Assemblymember Cathy Petrie Norris's office. Representatives from OC Supervisor Katrina Foley's office. We have Carolyn Inman, President of South Orange County Community College District. We have former Irvine Council member Anthony Kuo. And many Irvine City Commissioners. Could you please rise? Thank you for your service, Irvine. Representatives from the Irvine Ranch Conservancy. All right. Families forward. Love Irvine. UCI. All right, UCI. Almquest Development. The Irvine Chamber of Commerce. There's Dave Cafaro. Pretend City. All right. 5 points. PSQ Productions. Representatives from Irvine Valley College. Representatives from Concordia University. Orange County Soccer Club. Allison Muniz Damicolas, Tustin Unified School Board member. Irvine Company. If there are any other elected officials that have been missed, please rise so we can recognize you as well. Okay. Let's give a round of applause for all of our special guests this evening. All right. At this time, it is my honor and privilege to introduce Mayor Larry Agron for tonight's 2026 State of the City. Mayor Agron first served on the Irvine City Council from 1978 to 1990, of which 6 years he served as mayor. Under his leadership, Irvine received national recognition for its pioneering programs in child care, affordable housing, recycling, and open space. He returned to serve on the Irvine City Council in 1998 and again elected mayor in 2000 and 2002, followed by 2 consecutive terms as city council member until 2014. Following a 6-year hiatus, he returned again to the Irvine City Council in 2020 and subsequently re-elected as council member in 2022. Mayor Agron resides in our fine city with his wife Phyllis, a pediatrician and chair of the Health and Wellness Committee. Their son, Ken, is married to daughter-in-law, Carrie. The mayor and his wife also have 2 grandchildren, Morgan Elizabeth and Benjamin Sawyer. This is an off-script one. They wrote it for me, but I added this on, Mayor. I wanted to say, Mayor Agron, the relationship between mayor and vice mayor in a major city like Irvine is very important. We may not see eye to eye on all issues, but what we have shown over the year is that we both care deeply about our residents and always find a way to work together for the betterment of the city, placing people over politics. Irvine is a special place that I chose to make my home, start a business, and raise a family. I want to thank you as a private citizen for your commitment in serving Irvine over the years and helping it make it a great place to live and work. It is my honor to have served with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor Larry Agron.
Wow, a lot of great preliminaries, huh? You know, when we hired Kevin, it was for his intellect, his skill, what he could do and has done for us as a council executive assistant, now mayor's executive assistant. Little did we know that he was an amazing singer. Can we have another round of applause for Kevin? I'm going to get things adjusted here. Let me also introduce my council colleagues at this time. I'd like to introduce by district. We've gone to a district system of elections. Our council's a little larger than it was before. We have 6 districts and the mayor elected at large. And I'd like them to rise when I call their name, turn around so everybody can see them, and one by one, give them a big round of applause, please. District 1 is Council Member Melinda Liu. District 2 is Council Member William Go. District 3 is James. I already got you. Okay, go ahead. District 4 is Mike Carroll. And from District 5, Councilmember Betty Martinez Franco. And our last remaining council member elected citywide is Kathleen Treseder. And also at this time, we do have former mayors here. It makes me more comfortable knowing that you're here. You know how uncomfortable it is sometimes to be giving a State of the City remarks. But I'd like you to recognize one at a time. Councilmember Councilmember, and of course she was mayor from 2000 to 2004. She followed me, 2004 to 2008, Beth Crum. Let me just say something about Beth. Beth said so many wonderful things when she was mayor, but the most remarkable statement that I've remembered is she said, you know, in Irvine, because we're such a diverse and inclusive community, she said, you know, in Irvine, you can experience the entire world without ever leaving the boundaries of the city. And I think that's true. Thank you. You helped make it that way. Longtime council member, former mayor, Christina Shea, please. And Christina and I go way back. We agreed with many things. And those that we disagreed with, well, looking in the rearview mirror, I think we got more exercised about things than we should have, right? Okay, thank you. And Sally Ann Sheridan, who was mayor from 1990 to 1992. A not-so-fun political fact was that Sally Ann prematurely retired me when she defeated me in that nasty 1990 election, which I still remember. Welcome. You're a friend of Irvine forever, and you've been a friend of so many wonderful projects. It's great having the three of you here with us. You know, in thinking about what I would say this evening, I had a lot of time over the weekend to think about my remarks and to think more about where we fit here in Irvine. Who did I miss? Oh my goodness, Suki Kang. Suki Kang, Mayor. Thank you. You need to sit in the same row with these folks next time. We instructed you to do that. Suki Kang was mayor from 2008 to 2012, and he guided the city through really treacherous times. That was the Great Recession. It was a really frightening time in many, many respects, and with his outstanding leadership, insight, his calm demeanor, he guided us through those difficult times, and of course, Irvine emerged stronger than ever. And so thank you for your service. Anyway, I was thinking about where we fit in the scheme of things. And I was thinking over the weekend and happened to see something on TV. It was yet one more recital of Thomas Jefferson's words, the Declaration of Independence. This, of course, is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, a creation, the birth of our nation, really. And his immortal words can almost be recited by heart. In fact, I can. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How many times have we heard that? Well, I was there when Thomas wrote those words. And when he first presented them to me, I actually cried. I said, you have the perfect formulation here of what this new country could be and should be all about. And of course, it went on to state that these rights, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, are not self-enforcing. To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. So when I saw those words, and when we absorbed them, we realized this is the perfect formula for self-governing democracy. And I did make one suggestion to him. I said, you know, all men are created equal. I'd suggest you put the word people in instead. Well, he was 33 years old, extremely stubborn, absolutely refused to do so, saying that no, he wanted it just the way he wrote it. And having outlived him, when I recite those words, which I'll do now, I recite them using the word people. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and again, the critical second part of that, and that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among people, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. So, that's what we're about here. We're about applying that formula locally. And this is what we have been doing since 1971, December 28th, when the city of Irvine was incorporated. Now, because I'm such a student of history, I like to add one or two other things. Even though Jefferson didn't get it quite right, Abraham Lincoln in the Gettysburg Address did, when he spoke of government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And I know what you're thinking. No, I wasn't there at Gettysburg. But those words have really guided the Republic and really guide us locally as well. Of the people, by the people, for the people. When he spoke those words in 1863, I was actually out west helping James Irvine and his family, who had just bought what turned out to be the Irvine Ranch. And that's how we're all connected. We're all connected throughout history in this remarkable pageant of American democracy. And so tonight it is my privilege to be able to present, as your elected mayor, the state of the city. And with that, I'm going to begin my more formal remarks. Last year, in my State of the City report to you, I described our city's overall condition as excellent. I noted that our city operating budgets were balanced, our budget reserves were large, and we were prepared to move forward even in the face of headwinds in the national and state economies. You may recall that I then spoke of our shared aspirations, our determination to see the city of Irvine become the safest, smartest, greenest, healthiest, and kindest city in America. Tonight, I'm pleased to report that with hard work and focus throughout the past year, we continue to move forward, measurably improving the overall quality of life for those of us fortunate enough to call Irvine our home. Tonight is a time to take account of our progress, to describe the challenges ahead, to acknowledge where we need to do better, and to rededicate ourselves to the now familiar litany of aspirations. Yes, together, let's continue striving to make Irvine the safest, smartest, greenest, healthiest, and kindest city in America. I want to speak about public safety. So how are we doing in matters of public safety? Here at Irvine City Hall, we never forget that the foremost responsibility of local government is to keep people safe. So I begin with good news to report. For yet another year, the 21st year in a row, according to FBI statistics on violent crime in major cities, Irvine ranked as the #1 safest city in America. Now, I ask you to consider this fact. Last year, in our city of 330,000 residents, which swells to nearly twice that number during every workday, there were no murders. In fact, there were no criminal homicides of any kind in Irvine. 0. I think you'll agree with me that in a city of our size, and we're the 60th largest city in the United States of America, 0 is an amazing and beautiful crime statistic. Of course, there continue to be robberies, assaults, and other violent crimes in our city. Too many. But overall, our already low violent crime rate fell 5%. And while property crimes, burglaries, stolen vehicles, and other thefts continue to affect all American communities, including ours, last year's diligent police work, in partnership with our residents and business owners, contributed to an overall 16% reduction in property crime in Irvine. Now let's take a look at another kind of violence present in our community. Last year, vehicular violence remained too high. There were 6 traffic fatalities in 2025 in Irvine, down from 7 the year before. And good news, there were no pedestrian fatalities in Irvine in 2025. But the number of vehicles and people involved in serious injury accidents actually went up. So clearly, we have more work to do. We're stepping up our law enforcement against road racing and street takeovers. And as permitted by state law, our City Council recently approved lower speed limits on dozens of streets throughout Irvine. These measures, plus added police enforcement and continuing traffic engineering improvements, as well as the vigilance of all law-abiding Irvine citizens, should help us reduce the number and severity of traffic collisions this year and actually save lives. Let's see if we can do that together, all right? Keeping people safe on our streets, whether as drivers, passengers, bicyclists, or pedestrians, has become even more challenging with the proliferation of e-bikes. Most so-called e-bikes are actually electric motorcycles. And in my opinion, they should be licensed as motorcycles and regulated accordingly. At a minimum, we need state laws, because that's the only place this can be done. We need state laws that grant cities like ours the authority to adopt much stronger protective measures for our communities. Meanwhile, we're using the local authority that we do have to educate e-bikers, to educate e-bike riders, passengers on e-bikes, their parents, about safety. And yes, our police officers do issue citations, lots of them, when laws are violated, including the state law that requires all bicyclists and e-bikers under 18 years of age to wear a properly buckled crash helmet. Using the authority inherent in our recently adopted public safety ordinance, I will be proposing that certain popular walking trails be designated as free from e-bikes and other motorized vehicles. So at this time, on behalf of a grateful Irvine community, I want to take this moment to thank Chief Kent and our entire police force, the entire department, for yet another year of outstanding work. Our Irvine public safety strategies rely on community policing, what we also call constitutional policing. These strategies effectively keep us safe while building enduring bonds of mutual trust with our law-abiding Irvine citizenry. Chief, would you and the officers who are here just please all stand up? We'd like to give you a big, big round of applause. Thank you for all your wonderful work. Now, I want you to watch a video that has been in the public domain for months.
Mira, ¿por qué estás haciendo esto? ¿Por qué, señor? ¿Por qué? Agarra tu cartón. Sí, agarra tu cartón, que dijo el like. Oye, ¿por qué tan... Mira, yo no sé manejar. ¿Pero por qué están haciendo esto? ¿Pero por qué están haciendo esto? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué están haciendo esto? Yo estoy embarazada, señor. ¿Pero por qué está haciendo esto? Dígame. ¿Pero por qué están haciendo esto? Ya, dame el celular. No, dame el celular. Dame el celular, son mis cosas. ¿Pero por qué están haciendo esto? Expliquen. ¿Pero por qué están haciendo? El señor, deme el polo blanco. Este es mi celular porque está mi nombre todo, señor. Yo tengo... Ya sé, ya le dije, ya. Señor, deme mi celular. Es un respeto, señor. Ya, ahorita me va a ver. Nadie le va a robar nada. ¿Pero por qué están haciendo esto, señor? Porque tiene orden. Pero si somos familiar todos, señor. No, pero quiero ver la reportación.
Se va a llevar el carro usted, ¿ok?
Pero quiero saber la reportación. El celular, señor. Ve, señor, ¿y el celular? Señor, el celular. No me empuje. El celular. El celular, señor. El señor de Pueblo Blanco lo tiene, señor.
¿Dónde está el celular de él?
¿Ah?
¿Dónde está el celular de él?
El celular, el señor de Pueblo Blanco lo tiene y acá está todo grabado.
Vámonos.
Pero señor, yo no sé manejar. ¿Cómo yo sin brevete licencia voy a manejar? Por supuesto, ¿cómo yo voy a manejar? Es una falta, pero acá.
¿Licencia sí o no?
No tengo licencia. Si eres el que maneja el carro.
Párcalo aquí, ¿ok?
Pero yo no sé parquear, señor.
¿No puede manejar?
No sé, yo no sé. ¿Pero cómo voy a manejar si acá es una falta, señor? Tengo que respetar las leyes. ¿Cómo es posible que hagan eso, señor?
As you can see, this disturbing video was taken right here in Irvine last summer. It was just one of a half-dozen immigration raids we've experienced in Irvine in the past year. We've seen roving bands of armed, masked agents, presumably federal agents working for Homeland Security, Border Patrol, or ICE. They come to our city without prior notice, without means of identification, and without valid judicial arrest warrants. That is, warrants signed by an actual judge. As you can see, they break car windows and they break up families. In 7 separate incidents, they have so far handcuffed and dragged off 12 individuals, typically our Irvine neighbors or co-workers. We have a hard time tracking what happens to these individuals. It seems that most are taken to Adelanto in the high desert. Some are then shipped to longer-term detention facilities, really prison camps in Louisiana or Texas. And at the whim of federal officials, they may be shipped to their country of origin, or without the benefit of a hearing, they may be shipped off to a notorious prison in an entirely foreign country, perhaps El Salvador, Uganda, or South Sudan. This is happening in our United States of America in 2026. Needless to say, all of this makes Irvine less safe, less secure. And with budgets that have grown by many tens of billions of dollars, we should expect federal agents from Homeland Security, Border Patrol, ICE, to return to Irvine again and again in the months and years ahead. Well, let's be clear about a couple of things. First, all elected officials in California, myself included, swear an oath to support and defend and bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. Second, the U.S. Constitution's Fifth Amendment, ensuring due process, ensuring that no one shall be deprived of their liberty without due process of law, is there to protect all persons, all persons. It is there to protect not just those of us who are natural-born citizens. It is there to protect naturalized citizens as well. And the Fifth Amendment protects non-citizens too, regardless of their immigration status. So after conferring for weeks with Irvine Police Chief Michael Kent, City Attorney Jeff Melching, and Special Legal Counsel Chris Erickson, Council members Betty Martinez-Franco, Melinda Liu, and I recommended that the Council adopt the Irvine Immigrant Assistance Program for Irvine residents and employees. Irvine's Immigrant Assistance Program is designed to help anyone who lives or works in Irvine and their families by connecting them with legal representation to ensure their constitutional rights to due process. I'm pleased to report that on February 24th, the City Council approved the Immigrant Assistance Program, which will become operational this spring. As we ramp up our commitment to support and defend the Constitution here in Irvine, we reach out to and learn from other big cities that are making similar preparations. And as we build the united front, we work with California Attorney General Rob Bonta and Governor Gavin Newsom's office as well. And I want to take this opportunity to publicly recognize Mahira Baltazar, the principal consul at the Mexican consulate here in Santa Ana. I'm pleased to report that the consulate, with its large and highly capable staff, is a major resource in protecting immigrants and their rights, not just under American law, but also under international law and treaties. Not only can we count on Mahira as a friend of the Irvine community, but as it turns out, she's also our neighbor, choosing to live here in Irvine with her family. Please give a warm Irvine welcome to Mahira Baltazar. Before moving on from the topic of public safety and this matter of federal law enforcement activities, I want us all to be clear about our policy. Here in Irvine, our police are duly respectful of lawful judicial warrants for arrests and seizures in connection with serious or violent crimes committed by citizens and non-citizens alike. However, in accordance with state law and policy, your Irvine Police Department will not be involved in carrying out current federal immigration enforcement policies. Now, I'd like to end this public safety segment of my remarks on a positive note. I want to briefly report on our successful pool safety and drowning prevention initiative undertaken last summer. Last year, we began a successful floaties exchange program to eliminate dangerous and now illegal plastic floaties that are used by many young children and non-swimmers. Instead, we want these non-swimmers to be equipped with U.S. Coast Guard approved life jackets. This is the appropriate safety attire for young children when they are in or around pools and other bodies of water. I'm pleased to report that more than 500 stylish City of Irvine life jackets were distributed through our 2025 exchange program, thanks to the leadership of our community services staff and assistance from Orange County Fire Authority staff. I'm also pleased to share that last year, with apparently increasing adult awareness and vigilance, we had no drowning deaths in Irvine. Just remember, once again, 0 is sometimes a very, very big and important number. Let's keep it going. Now, I'd like to move on to making Irvine America's smartest city. Last year, when I spoke about our work to make Irvine the smartest city in America, I was referring to our city government, city workers and the smart policies, programs, best practices, and overall organization, professionalism, and high performance of our workforce. During this past year, the city of Irvine, with approximately 1,500 city workers, once again ranked among the top 20 best places to work in all of Orange County. According to the Orange County Register, Irvine was the only city to make the best workplaces list. Our own city surveys show that residents and businesses alike give our workforce high marks for competence, courtesy, and efficiency. Of course, having a highly educated, highly trained, high-performing professional workforce costs money. That's why we proudly pay our employees, your city employees, well. This past year, we reached down and raised the minimum hourly wage for our lowest paid part-time and seasonal employees, as well as for contract workers such as landscape workers and janitorial staff. The state minimum wage is $17 per hour. Our city's minimum wage, we call it a living wage, is now $20 per hour. That's for part-time employees and $25 per hour for full-time workers. Most of our full-time hourly workers earn more than that. This is all part of a smart compensation strategy, in my view. We want our city employees, those who work in offices here at City Hall, as well as those working in our streets, parks, and city facilities throughout town, to earn sufficient household income to actually live in Irvine as well as work here, to be part of our community, and to enjoy the high quality of life they help provide for the rest of us. In another smart strategic move, this past summer we successfully transitioned from being part of the Orange County library system to our very own City of Irvine public library system. In fact, we had a wonderful grand opening of our Katie Wheeler Library this past Saturday. I want to acknowledge the smart planning of our Director of Community and Library Services, Chris Slama, our Deputy Director and City Librarian, Julie Zioli, and her entire wonderful library staff. The transition, an enormous undertaking, went smoothly. Now we are about to begin a 2-year process, the preparation, adoption, and initial implementation of a comprehensive Irvine Library Master Plan. I want to take this opportunity tonight to encourage maximum citizen participation in this master planning process. This is how we will ensure the preparation and adoption of the best possible master plan, one that will guide us in our efforts to expand, improve, and finance our Irvine library system. I believe we all share a determination to see our Irvine public library system become one of the best municipal library systems in America. In yet another smart move, Assistant City Manager Pete Carmichael has quietly led an effort to establish the City of Irvine Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. This soon-to-be-open center near the Great Park is made possible with a $1 million seed grant in federal money. This was secured by our U.S. Congressional Representative, Dave Min. The center is designed to be a one-stop business accelerator for new and innovative Irvine enterprises. I want to take this opportunity to thank Pete Carmichael for his visionary work. I also want to publicly thank our newly hired Economic Development Director, Karen Cook, for her outstanding work as well. And of course, we're all grateful to Congressman Dave Min for his diligent work in Washington on our behalf. And let me tell you about one more business-related smart investment strategy. Our city has launched the Irvine Business Support Nonprofit Grants Program. This is a program administered by our trusted partner, the Greater Irvine Chamber of Commerce. This program provides small grants of up to $10,000 to support various ethnic chambers of commerce in their efforts to promote promising small businesses emerging from historically underrepresented groups. I want to take this opportunity to publicly thank Dave Cafaro, President of the Greater Irvine Chamber of Commerce, for his leadership, for his creativity, and for the re-energized partnership he is building between our city and the Irvine business community. Dave, could you stand up? There he is. Now let me shift gears a bit. Being a smart city means working with professional educators whose job is to educate kids and help produce the next generation of smart grown-ups. Here in Irvine, we're fortunate to have high-performing K-12 public schools, public charter schools, Irvine Valley College, and UCI as well, all primarily funded by the state of California. Most cities can't or simply don't augment state funding with city funds. Irvine is different. For decades now, we have been providing Irvine's public schools and students with more than $10 million per year, about $200 per student, in the form of matching funds and in-kind support. We have systematically built productive partnerships, principally with the Irvine Unified School District and the Irvine Public Schools Foundation, but also with the Tustin Unified School District, which runs 5 outstanding public schools here in Irvine. The financial aid, matching funds, and in-kind support we provide translate into more teaching assistants, more arts programming, support for school bus transportation, after-school programs, and in the case of Irvine Valley College, many $2,000 City of Irvine scholarships for community college students to help cover school costs. In connection with our fiscal year 2026-27 budget hearings in May, I look forward to sustaining our support for schools and maybe even increasing it a bit. In this regard, we will all be looking to Council members Betty Martinez-Franco and Melinda Liu, our council appointees to the IUSD and TUSD liaison committees. I'll also be enlisting Vice Mayor James Mai and other council members to work directly with me and administrative officials at UCI and Irvine Valley College to identify some smart policies that address real problems. For example, working together, let's see if we can develop on-campus affordable housing at Irvine Valley College. And also provide free bus service to increase mobility while actually reducing automobile traffic to and from these educational institutions. There we are. I like to say, let's not just grow bigger, let's grow smarter. And now, I'd like to move on to making Irvine the greenest city in America. Growing smarter means growing greener. According to the leading city rating organizations, last year Irvine was ranked number 2 in the nation for our park system, and we ranked number 7 overall among the greenest cities in America. We're working to do even better in the years ahead, and I want to tell you how. Several months ago, almost without notice, the All-American asphalt plant located in the northernmost part of our city, above the Orchard Hills community, was dismantled and carried away, forever removing the last vestiges of the largest industrial polluter in Irvine. Its shutdown and removal were part of a remarkable land deal involving the asphalt plant owners, the Irvine Company, and the city of Irvine. The net result of this complex transaction is the creation of the Gateway Preserve, adding more than 500 acres to our permanently preserved, city-owned natural open space resources. In the next few years, the Gateway Preserve will be opened to the public and accessible by way of the already popular Jeffrey Open Space Trail, which is being extended both north and south across the center of our city. As this green project moves forward, I want to again publicly thank Councilmember Mike Carroll. When we were still a 5-member city council led by then Mayor Farah Khan, Councilmember Carroll and I served on a legal affairs committee that helped frame the original deal with the Irvine Company. I also want to thank the Irvine Company officials who understood the public health and environmental crisis that we faced, and they responded with their own suggested solutions. Great credit goes to our city's senior management staff, who, of course, are your city staff. They have worked and continue to work with remarkable skill, creativity, and attention to detail. They are ensuring that all aspects of this environmental cleanup and open space project are implemented successfully. And finally, I want to thank the citizens of Irvine, especially our North Irvine neighbors, who organized themselves and relentlessly insisted and acted on the belief that their city government could and must find a way to stop the pollution and restore the land. Well, at their urging, that's exactly what we're doing. Let me share one more thought here. Over the years, I've noticed that amid all the negativity, partisanship, and even hateful division, mostly emanating from Washington, we tend to take the good things happening right here in Irvine for granted. I just want to take this moment to remind us all that, like most good things in our city, the Gateway Preserve success story didn't happen by accident. It takes many good people working together to accomplish great things. I really hope this year and far into the future we'll remember that. Now, I want to turn to my favorite topic, which is trees. Like most people, I love trees. They ask so little from us, and yet they give us so much. They provide shade and cool our city on hot days. They help clean and oxygenate the air we breathe. They sequester huge amounts of carbon in our fight against global warming. And trees are just so beautiful to behold, offering a kind of psychological relief from the stresses of everyday life. Through smart, far-sighted investments, our predecessors and we have managed to plant on both public and private land more than 500,000 trees in Irvine. We now have what's called tree canopy coverage of about 20% in our city. This places us among the highest ranking cities in Southern California. And now even better news. Under the newly completed Irvine Urban Forest Master Plan, the Irvine Urban Forest Master Plan, adopted by the City Council last October, we will be planting more than 60,000 carefully selected additional trees in the coming years. As all these trees continue to mature, we expect our canopy coverage in Irvine to reach 30% by mid-century, almost ensuring that we will be among the most tree-rich large cities in the western United States. I'm told that approximately 3,800 trees will be planted in our Great Park alone in the next few years, with another 15,000 planned for the years after that. I'd like to acknowledge Luis Estevez, Director of Public Works and Sustainability, Aaron Reese, City Arborist, and our entire team of 8 professional arborists and their support workers for their continued work. Would they stand up if they're here? Way in the back, all right, way in the back. I thought maybe you were out planting a tree. All right, thank you so much. I also want to acknowledge, whether he's here or not, District Attorney Todd Spitzer, who is the 3rd District County Supervisor years ago, was instrumental in making the Great Park possible. It was his hard work and the work of not just hundreds, but thousands of volunteers that actually defeated the county's proposed international airport plan, replacing it with the Great Park. Speaking of the Great Park, let me also take this opportunity to thank our Great Park's past chairman, Councilmember Mike Carroll, and congratulate our new chairman, Councilmember William Go. I'm sure we're going to be hearing much more from Chair Go in the months ahead about the future of our Great Park. Now, beyond trees and the Great Park, let's talk about a big, essential step we need to take to make Irvine greener. We need green transit, and we need it now. Let me explain. As proud as we are of the Irvine Master Plan and our 50-year-old planning process, there has been one major flaw from the start: the absence of comprehensive transit planning, the failure to develop a citywide transit system. Since the 1970s, Irvine has been locked into a transportation model that relies almost exclusively on private automobile ownership, many thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of cars and trucks in Irvine every day. No wonder the chief complaint we hear about here in Irvine is traffic. Some of us sounded the alarm as early as the 1970s and 1980s. We warned against the traffic congestion that frustrates us today, pollutes our air, and contributes to global warming. I remember the many conferences we held in the 70s and 80s to explore traffic solutions through better planning and serious transit initiatives. Then, when I was last mayor, from 2000 to 2004, we tried to bring Centerline Light Rail to Irvine, an electrified, quiet system. We even held a special election with a ballot referendum in June 2003. Unfortunately, that pro-transit referendum for Centerline here in Irvine lost 52% to 48%. A few years later, we launched the iShuttle program. Former Mayor and Council Member Beth Crom and former Mayor and Council Member Suki Kang were instrumental in that as well. iShuttle was a shuttle bus connector system intended to mainly serve workers who commuted to and from Irvine by rail instead of private automobiles. The iShuttle had some significant success, but it lost more than half of its ridership during the pandemic and never fully recovered. So where are we now? To paraphrase the famous line from Apollo 13, the movie, Irvine, we've got a problem. It's a big problem, and it's bound to get worse unless we get busy. There is hope. With the leadership of Mayor Farah Khan a few years ago, we launched a pilot transit program called Irvine Connect, free, non-polluting buses that serve our residential neighborhoods with just 20-minute headways. And you know what? We seem to have finally hit the sweet spot. Short headways and free service. The pilot program is actually working. Ridership keeps growing. Kids are using Irvine Connect to get to and from school. No more frantic scramble for mom and dad to drive them. Young people using Irvine Connect are more independent and self-reliant. Senior citizens and others are using Irvine Connect to get to work, go shopping, or visit the Irvine Spectrum Center. And they do so without having to contend with traffic and parking problems and the associated public safety considerations as well. For tens of thousands of lower-income Irvine residents, Irvine Connect may actually make it possible to live comfortably and affordably in Irvine without owning a private vehicle. Imagine that. So now come the questions. Should we expand the Irvine Connect system throughout North and Central Irvine and then expand it south throughout all of Irvine, connecting to the free UCI Anteater bus, that system reaching all the way to the university? Should we, in fact, develop a comprehensive transit overlay system that does what we should have been doing for the past 50 years? And can we find the means to fund it? To these questions, I believe if we really put our minds to it, we can answer yes. It would be a heavy lift over the next few years, but yes, I believe we can do it, and I certainly think we should try. Healthiest city. Let's talk about making Irvine America's healthiest city. So, just as we aspire to be America's safest, smartest, and greenest city, we also aspire to be the healthiest and the kindest city in America. Let's talk about health and wellness for a few minutes. Irvine's reputation as a national leader in matters of health and wellness continues to grow. With the opening of both City of Hope and the UCI Hospital in 2025, Irvine is now home to four, count them, four amazing billion-dollar hospitals, the other two being Hoag and Kaiser Permanente. Together, they constitute a premier hospital and healthcare hub for all of Southern California. More than dealing with disease and critical care, all four hospitals are true healthcare centers promoting healthy lifestyles. It all seems to be working. Irvine ranks very high among cities nationwide for overall longevity and quality of life. And the indices are moving in the right direction. We have fewer and fewer kids taking up smoking, vaping, or using alcohol or drugs. The same is true for adults. Most of us pay attention to the need for good diets and appropriate exercise. Your city government, of course, encourages both. In this connection, for those who are interested in exercise, I'm pleased to announce that construction is well underway for our city-owned, city-operated 110,000 square foot gymnasium, which we call the Irvine Field House. Located in the western part of our city, not far from this city hall, we expect the field house will be a very popular destination facility, open to residents of all ages and abilities later this year. And in speaking of very popular destination facilities, it's my good fortune tonight to announce that the U.S. men's national team has chosen to train at the Great Park during the FIFA World Cup. There are certain privileges that just can't be beat as mayor. This decision reflects the caliber of the Great Park Championship Soccer Stadium and the professionalism of the staff who operate it. Irvine is proud to welcome the players, coaches, and supporters to our community for one of the world's most celebrated sporting events. It was just a few years ago that during the COVID pandemic, we learned a lot about the shortcomings in our system of public health, healthcare, and social support. To address these matters, the previous City Council and then City Manager Oliver Chi created an Office of Health and Wellness, which is now a growing division under the purview of City Manager Sean Crumby. Direct oversight is being provided by Assistant City Manager Brian King. The day-to-day director for Health and Wellness is Heather Dion. Her job is to pull together the vast array of programs promoting health, well-being, and social support, and then integrate them into a soon-to-be-created Department of Health and Wellness right here at City Hall. In this regard, an outstanding Health and Wellness Advisory Committee has been assembled and organizational planning is underway. Here with us tonight are Advisory Committee Chair, I think I recognize this name, Dr. Phyllis Agrin. Would she stand up, please? Stand up. And Advisory Committee Vice Chair, Nakia Best. Please stand up. So here's some of the progress we're making. We now have both an excellent post-COVID strategic plan for children, youth, and families, And we have a strategic plan for older adult services. And plans are being formulated to incrementally expand our capacity to ensure improved health and wellness services throughout Irvine. This includes stepped-up mental health services, some provided by the city through our iCare team, but also by outstanding nonprofit entities. For example, a new nonprofit called the Kindness Network is being established by Stephen Chen, a longtime Irvine resident and leader in the mental health field. In addition to providing mental health services, the mission of the Kindness Network will be to dispel the stigma associated with seeking mental health services, especially in immigrant communities, but more generally as well. Stephen, are you here? There we are. Thank you. Before leaving this topic of health and wellness, I want to touch on the subject of affordable housing. Decent, affordable housing is, of course, an essential building block for health and wellness. In last year's State of the City message, I challenged us to meet the moment by nearly doubling our price-controlled affordable housing inventory, increasing it from about 5,300 units at that time to 10,000 units by 2030. I'm pleased to report that so far we're on a trajectory to reach our goal. So let's keep it up. At that time, I spoke about the need for what I called instant affordability. I called for an instant affordability program, which has been put in place for about 40 homeless Irvine families whose children were enrolled in Irvine schools. With the cooperation of the Irvine Company and with the tireless work of Director Heather Dion and her health and wellness professional staff, nearly all of these families, most of them working families who simply don't have enough household income to shelter themselves, are now housed in Irvine Company apartments with supportive social services as needed. The school children and their families live today in high-quality apartments today under the terms of our Instant Affordability Housing Grant Program, which I am determined to see us expand in the years ahead. Why do we do this? Some people ask, why do we do this? It's pretty simple. Because here in our city, so blessed with abundance, we believe that no Irvine school child should ever be homeless. Now, let's go on to Kindest City. Last year, when I spoke of our aspiration to be America's kindest city, I referred to our day-to-day conduct as elected officials and as ordinary citizens as well. I want to repeat tonight what I said a year ago. I call upon all of us as Irvine civic leaders, participants in government, and citizens everywhere to model kindness, to apply the lessons and values we were taught by our parents and teachers, to talk respectfully to one another, even when we disagree, especially when we disagree, to be especially kind, helpful, and generous toward others who are struggling or in need. You know, living in Irvine, we are part of America's most racially and ethnically diverse and completely integrated city. That's a wonderful statistical fact. And again, like most good things in Irvine, this didn't happen by accident. We were incorporated in 1971, just after the civil rights giants of the 1960s had managed to finally put in place the federal and state civil rights and anti-discrimination laws, including the fair housing and fair employment laws that enabled this city to go free, absolutely free, of any history of segregation and discrimination. The plain fact is that we live together, work together, and learn together every day. By all indications and measurements, we do so in remarkable harmony for a big city. That is the norm here in Irvine. From time to time, I examine the records our police maintain regarding hate incidents and hate crimes. Although I can assure you, every reported hate incident or allegation of a hate crime is, of course, taken seriously, I am pleased that the overall numbers remain very low. I wish I could tell you that we keep records of acts of kindness in Irvine, but we don't, probably because they are too numerous to keep track of. So let me just tell you what goes on every day involving hundreds and hundreds of good people. In Irvine, we're blessed with nonprofit organizations whose mission is kindness and helpfulness. I think of Families Forward, Human Options, the Assistance League, Working Wardrobes, Friends of Outreach for Senior Citizens, South County Outreach, Age Well Senior Services, the ECTA Center, Irvine Adult Day Health Services, Irvine Children's Fund, Stand Up for Kids, Waymakers, and many more. I think of the nonprofits and individuals providing Meals on Wheels, welfare visits to homebound neighbors, housing assistance, child care and after-school programs, and so much more. I think of Love Irvine and its community service projects involving hundreds of young people and other volunteers. I also think of Irvine's churches, synagogues, and mosques, and what they do to promote kindness in our community. And I want to recognize the businesses and large corporations that not only treat their employees with kindness, but also encourage their employees to volunteer for community service for the city. And let's not forget the labor unions whose members volunteer to undertake all kinds of projects for community betterment. Let's take this moment to express our gratitude for these organizations I've mentioned and all those I haven't mentioned for the wonderful, wonderful work that they do. We're getting to the end, folks. Round of applause for that, right? Now, one final shout out. Most people don't know that Irvine is home to Harvest Solutions Farm, a partnership between Second Harvest, the University of California South Coast Research and Extension Center, and Solutions for Urban Agriculture. Harvest Solutions Farm is key to growing and distributing nutritious vegetables farmed right here in Irvine on 45 acres of highly productive agricultural land. With help from scores of wonderful Irvine volunteers, Second Harvest ensures that 50,000 to 60,000 pounds of fresh produce are stocked every week at free public pantries and otherwise distributed to thousands of Orange County and, of course, Irvine residents in need. Later this year, I'm going to be urging our Irvine City Council to adopt a far-reaching food and nutrition security plan. Under this plan, our city would provide additional resources to scale up food production and its distribution, making sure that our city, county, and all struggling low-income households will always, always be food secure. And now I'd like to acknowledge in this connection three amazing people. Claudia Bonilla Keller, CEO of Second Harvest. Is Claudia here? There we are. Malia Carey, government and Malia, stand up. She is the Government and Public Affairs Manager for Second Harvest. And also Mark Lowry. Mark Lowry is longtime director of the Orange County Food Bank. There may also be representatives here from some of our food pantries. UCI Basic Needs Center, Families Forward. If you're here, please stand up. UCI Basic Needs Center, Families Forward, Mariners Church Food Pantry, Radiant Health Centers, and South County Outreach. Thank you all for your work in sustaining those pantries. We thank you all for all that you do. So, in closing, the most cherished words after a long, long speech. Let's honor and remember the kindness that is everywhere in our city. And working together, let's continue to do all that we can to make Irvine the safest, smartest, greenest, healthiest, and kindest city in America. Thank you, folks. Thank you, folks. That's it. That's it. Having completed our agenda tonight, I declare this meeting now adjourned.